If you are looking for a new MMORPG that actually respects your time and your device, you are in the right place. Today we are counting down the top 12 new MMORPGs for Android and iOS in 2026. I am keeping it 100% honest with you guys today, so no fake hype, just the raw details on combat optimization and whether these games are actually worth your storage space. Let's dive right in. Kicking off at number 12, Wrath of Celestial. This is one of those titles that flew under the radar for a lot of people but has built a steady community. It features your classic Asian fantasy MMO tropes with flashy skill effects and a traditional class system. The combat is heavily automated, which is great if you just want something running in the background while you work, but it lacks the heavy, impactful hit feel that we look for in top-tier action games. It's a solid entry if you want a classic auto-pathing MMO experience, but it won't be blowing your mind graphically. Number 11, Architect Land of Exiles. Now this is one of the most ambitious mobile MMORPGs we have seen in years. Architect Land of Exiles is basically trying to bring a next-gen MMORPG experience to mobile devices using Unreal Engine 5, and honestly the graphics already look insane. What really stands out though is movement freedom. You can fly, swim, climb mountains, glide across landscapes and explore huge environments without constant loading screens. It almost feels like a mix between Black Desert Mobile and Throne and Library. They are marketing this as a zero-stress MMO and honestly it kind of works. Built on Unreal Engine 5, the graphics are photorealistic, but what makes it unique is the offline progression. You can actually make meaningful gains without leaving your phone on 24/7. It has a vast open world and dynamic action combat that feels surprisingly fluid. Number 10 is Legend of Ymir by Ymir. If you played Mir 4, you know what you are getting into here, but cranked up to 11. Built on Unreal Engine 5, this game is set in dark Norse mythology, and the cinematic sequences look like they belong on a high-end console. You get a hybrid combat system here, like you can auto-grind missions, but for boss fights, you really need to go manual to dodge and use the hit confirm system. A quick warning to keep it honest with you guys, this game is tied to the WiiMAX platform, meaning it has P2E and NFT elements, so if you hate crypto in games, skip it. Well, if you don't mind it or just want to enjoy the stunning graphics, it's a heavyweight title that will demand a top-tier phone to run smoothly. Number 9, Ares, the Iron Vanguard. If fantasy worlds are not your thing, then Ares, the Iron Vanguard might be exactly what you need. This is basically a futuristic sci-fi MMORPG packed with mechs, jetpacks, laser weapons, cybernetic enemies, and insanely fast combat. And unlike slower MMORPGs, Ares keeps things aggressive. The pacing is super fast, which makes grinding feel way less repetitive. And you don't just pick a class, you swap between high-tech combat suits mid-battles. We are talking mechs, jetpacks, and combat that feels ripped straight out of Devil May Cry. Now let's switch to something more magical and anime-inspired. Spirits of Aetheria focuses heavily on exploration, spirit companions, and colorful fantasy storytelling. The game gives strong classic JRPG vibes with high fantasy regions, emotional character designs, and beautiful environmental art. One of the coolest mechanics is the Spirit Companion system. You collect elemental spirits that fight alongside you and completely change your combat style. This might not be the most hardcore MMORPG on the list, but it definitely looks like one of the most charming. Number 7, RF Online Next. Okay, MMORPG veterans, this one is huge. RF Online Next officially launches on June 18, 2026, and this is basically the return of one of the most legendary sci-fi MMORPG franchises ever. The original RF Online had a massive fanbase because of its faction wars and giant mech battles, and now the next generation version is trying to modernize everything for mobile and PC players. Unlike many auto-heavy MMORPGs, RF Online Next seems to push more active participation during combat, especially during war events. The visuals also got a huge upgrade with more detailed environments and modern effects, while still keeping the classic RF atmosphere fans remember. This is one of the most anticipated MMORPG launches of 2026 for long-time MMO players. Taking the number 6 spot is Lumina Saga. This game is the definition of a cozy MMO. It recently launched and it's specifically designed for players who suffer from MMO burnout. It has auto-grind systems, offline rewards, free training, and a heavy focus on lifestyle content like guild festivals and marriage system. It's a 2.3 gigs of download, runs buttery smooth on almost any device, and is just a relaxing, stress-free anime game to vibe with your guild. Eternal Towers Saga combines dungeon crawling with massive vertical progression centered around a gigantic, mysterious tower. And yes, the tower is basically the entire game's obsession. Every floor introduces stronger enemies, harder mechanics, and new secrets about the world. It gives a strong tower fantasy anime vibes. Visually, the game mixes dark fantasy aesthetics with flashy anime style effects, creating a really stylish atmosphere. If the developer continue adding endgame content consistently, this could build a very loyal MMO community. Coming in at number 4, we have DK Mobile Reborn. Now, I know some of you old school MMORPG fans have been waiting for this one. Well, if you played the original DK mobile games, Reborn is bringing back that hardcore, unforgiving open-world PvP experience, but with significantly updated visuals and better server stability. This isn't one of those cozy, peaceful games. This is raw, guild versus guild territory warfare. Well, if you are going to be fighting over hunting zones and world bosses, it does feature auto-pathing and auto-combat for the grind-heavy sections, but when it comes to massive guild sieges, you have to be hand-on your positioning and class mechanics. Next up, we have Tree of Savior Neo, a modern reimagining of the beloved Tree of Savior franchise, and honestly, the nostalgic art style is still beautiful. The game mixes classic MMORPG charm with updated visuals and smoother systems. You will still get that hand-painted fantasy world feeling, but now with modern improvements for mobile players. One of the cool things is that the game doesn't rely purely on realism. Instead, it leans into stylized fantasy art, which honestly helps it stand out in a market full of ultra-realistic Unreal Engine games. So if you miss classic MMORPG vibes but want something modernized for mobile, this could hit perfectly. Our runner-up at number 2 is Dragon's Sword by Webzen. This just launched in South Korea and it is incredible. Think of the open world exploration and anime aesthetic of Genshin, combined with the impactful, heavy combat feel of games like Wuthering Waves. There is no autoplay here. It is 100% manual combat featuring aerial combos, dodging, and real-time character switching between a team of 3 mercenaries. It is a massive 19 gigs install, but if you want raw, skill-based action RPG gameplay in a seamless open world, this is the one to download. And finally, taking the number 1 spot for 2026 is Blue Protocol Star Resonance. Now stick with me here. Bandai Namco officially shut down the PC version of Blue Protocol, which broke a lot of hearts. But the developers at Bokura Network took the IP, expanded it, and launched Star Resonance globally as a massive cross-platform mobile and PC MMO. It is everything we wanted the original to be. You get deep class customization, massive multiplayer raids with your guild, real-time dodging, and zero autoplay in dungeons. You can fish, dance in the city, and farm gear with friends. Well, it's the ultimate anime MMO comeback story and it plays flawlessly on mobile.
すごい綺麗ね。
So there you have it, folks. These are the top 12 new MMORPG games for Android and iOS in 2026. Now I wanna know your most anticipated MMORPG from this list. Drop your thoughts down in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on notifications because I have got more upcoming mobile game list, reviews and hidden gems coming very soon. Thanks for watching and I will see you guys in the next one. Happy gaming!